Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is a little bit of an impromptu live stream. Didn't know if I was going to be going live, but I decided to do so. We are going to actually do some housekeeping around here. It's messy, and we're going to try to clean some things up. I have been like crazy busy for the last couple of days because the Regie Collects exclusive variant actually came in the other day, and I have been putting in work trying to get everything where it needs to be, and I want to give people a little bit of an update on where things stand. And so we will wait for a couple of people to jump in here in the room because this is an impromptu live stream. We will see how people kind of flow in here, but I will give you guys an update on what's been going on with the variant. And then there's a few other things that I want to talk about. One of the things that I do want to mention to people is this right here. If you have not yet had a chance to check out the video that I released earlier today on YouTube, I definitely want to encourage you to check it out, because in this video that I released, it is part 2 of my sit-down interview with the legendary Chris Claremont. And we discussed a host of topics in this interview, or this portion of the interview, that I think people will find interesting. We talked a lot about how it is that creators are actually compensated in the comic book industry, which I had no clue about. So that was super fascinating to me. We talked a lot about relationships between the writer and the artist, and what makes for a good working relationship, and what are some of the best relationships that he's actually had with creators. And then we've also talked about some of the not so good relationships that he's had, and why that was the case, why it wasn't a great relationship. And then at one point in this interview, I asked Chris a question that not only shocked me, he actually shocked other people that were in the room that were listening to what he and I were talking about. And you'll hear it. You won't miss that part. You will hear that part where it was a little bit of a shocker. So if you guys have not seen today's video, which was released at 3:30, I definitely want to encourage you guys to check that out after this live stream. And then if you did not watch part 1 of my interview with Chris, I definitely want to encourage you to check that out as well. We spoke for a long time, and I captured a lot of video footage, and definitely proud of the interview and the work that went into editing it down into something that was manageable. And so if you guys get a chance, I definitely want to encourage you to check it out. So let me see. Some folks have come into the room here. So I want to scroll up to the top to say hello to some comic book soldiers. So I see Chris Barrett. How you doing? Tina's in here. The Blue Wrench is always on deck. TSP is in house. My man, Vika, bro, I started to send you a message. I know that there was a lot of storms that hit the East Coast, and I wanted to send you a message to check on you. And I thought about it yesterday, then the day got away from me, and then here you are. So hopefully you and the family and everyone down there is safe. And I may still send you a message a little bit later today once this thing wraps up. So Joe, how you doing, brother? Halfway through the last video, he's like, bro, you're putting out too much content. Today's video is a good one. Today's video is a good one. The Chris Claremont interviews. Hopefully you guys can check that out. My Canadian brother, Wayne, it is good to see you, Squirrel Madness. I hope all is well with you, brother. It is good to see your face in here. So, yeah. So we're going to keep it moving on. Andrew, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. V is in here. Comic book soldiers. How you doing, Sean? It's good to see you. Chuck is also in here. Scrolling down. Let me see. Philly Born is in here. How you doing? Eugene, I am doing well. Brian is here. It is definitely good to see you all, and I definitely appreciate everybody swinging by. So as I was kind of teeing up, Tina watched it. There you go. Tina, I appreciate that. It was, it was a good interview, and I actually need to look to see whether I can cobble together a third a third video of my discussion with Chris Claremont. I want to see whether there's enough there for me to piece together a third segment of this thing. You know, when you edit things down, you lose a little bit, but you still need to maintain some kind of story that is being told, and I need to see whether I have enough content to be able to tell another story besides the two that we've already told. So more to come on that. So the Chris Claremont thing is one thing that I wanted to give you guys an update on. If you haven't yet watched that video, you definitely want to check that out. Today, I made some progress. I actually got my P.O. box set up. When we lived at the other house a couple of years ago, we had a P.O. box that was near that house. Like literally I could throw a stone and probably hit the P.O. box. We moved further away. We never changed over the P.O. box. And then we actually had somebody that sent me something to that P.O. box. And because of Voldemort, I was never able to actually get to the P.O. box in order to get what they sent me. It was returned. And then there were a couple of weeks where I had no P.O. box. And so today I went and set up a P.O. box, and the United States Postal Service does not understand aliases. They do not understand when you're like, my name is this and all of my ID says this, but you use something else like Regie Collects. They were like, we don't understand that. Yeah, it took a little work. Mostly because it's very difficult to negotiate with someone and to appear to be honest with what you're doing when you're wearing a mask. But I was able to have some great conversations with the folks at the post office, and we were able to reach an agreement. And I now have a P.O. box. That P.O. box is actually posted to the website. So if there's things that you guys want to send me, the P.O. box is set up. It is posted to the website. We will be checking it on a regular basis. So there you go. Seth finally made it to another live stream. There you go. There you go. She Spawn was indeed flooded out. And I saw on her stream, I reached out to her. I was like, I hope everything is okay. And she was like, my family is safe, and that is what matters the most. And then I saw another photo of what appeared to be her two kids. I'm guessing her two kids sitting and having breakfast. And so she definitely has her priorities in order. Definitely She Spawn does. I also wanted to ask about the comic books, but it didn't seem like the right time. It did not seem like the right time to ask about the Spawn books when we were talking about floods and being evacuated by boat and all that kind of stuff. But I definitely, my thoughts are with her and her family and everybody else that is out there being affected by this stuff. So who is this? Definitely a part 3, says Rob Boswell. Man, I hope, brother. I hope that I'm sorry, it was Jeff. Sorry about that. I hope that there is enough footage. I need to look back at it to see whether we can piece something together. So we'll see, man. Fingers crossed. Scrolling through. Okay, I think I'm caught up on that. All right. So Chris Claremont P.O. Box. I wanted to give everybody an update. If you placed an order for a raw copy of my exclusive variant, your copy is in the mail. It is not figuratively in the mail. It is literally in the mail. I stayed up the last 2 nights until like midnight, packaging everything up, every order for a raw book, whether it was a single copy or up to 6 copies, because there were people that bought up to 6 copies. All of those copies are in the mail and are headed to you. I did 2 waves, one yesterday and one today. Fingers crossed that by week's end, a healthy number of you will have received your variants in the mail. Fingers crossed that they also arrive safely. I was up pretty late, and it made for a grouchy Regie today. And I was like, well, I didn't know if I was going to go on live or not. But I rallied. I rallied the troops. I had some coffee. And we are here. So raw books have all been shipped out. You guys will get those things very, very soon. Let me scroll down and make sure I didn't miss anything. I'll talk about that in just a second. I'm very upset. If you guys are watching me on a big screen or a small screen or whatever, and I look good, take a photo, post it up on the Instagram, tag me, and I will repost it back up. So the raw books have all been shipped out if you placed an order. All of the graded books, all of the blue label and all of the yellow label have also been bundled up and sent in to CGC. I have been in touch with them and said, hey, I have a very large box that is headed your way full of comics. can you please be on the lookout for it? So that box has been mailed, and the process for that is very different because I sent yellow labels as a creator. So it's a little bit different, the process that you go through for a yellow label versus blue label. So I had to do something very different, and it took me some time to make sure I got the paperwork right and all that kind of stuff. But all of the yellow labels were packaged with a couple of the blue labels, and everything was mailed off. So what I will tell you is that the shipment came in. There was a healthy amount of damaged books, and or books that had some inconsistency in the printing. And, you know, we had staples that were a little off. We had some spots on back covers. We had some entire bundles that looked like they had been dropped on the corner. I'm definitely not blaming a blaze. That's not my gig, but there was definitely some loss that was associated with the printing process. So I had planned for that loss, maybe not as high as it is. But these are the lessons that we learn when we experiment and do adventurous things like creating your own variant. So there was a lot of loss, but that's fine. It's all par for the course. But we bundled up the books. We sent the books off. We are keeping our fingers crossed for some 9.8s, right? 9.8 yellow labels and also blue labels. It was a ton of fun signing those books. And I can tell you that Chris Claremont is a legend. He is a legend. He is very skilled in that he can carry on a conversation while also signing at the same time. I could not have done that. I could not have mastered that skill, but I did some interesting stuff. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I did on the covers that were signed. You guys will see that soon enough in an upcoming video, which these books actually come back to me. But where I was going is that I have to press all of the books. They also had some waviness, and new books have waviness associated with them. So I basically pressed every single book before it was encapsulated, even though with that waviness, you can actually still get a 9.8 because CGC allows for that because it's standard. But I spent the extra money. We're going to get the books pressed. So it will take a little bit more time to get them pressed and then encapsulated because those are two separate timelines. So bear with me, people. Bear with me as we get these books to CGC, which should be tomorrow morning. And then they start their process, and hopefully everything moves quite smoothly. But I wanted to let you guys know what was happening with that. So scrolling down, let me see. Comics with Bueller is in the house. This dude gave me a shout out earlier today in his fantastically done a weekly video on what's coming out from the publishers that are out there. It was very surprising to actually see my mug in there and my variant in there. So shout out to Comics with Bueller. You know, we're still trying to take him down. We like Bueller, but we're still trying to take Bueller down, and he has a lot more subscribers. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So I'll make a couple of more comments here. I have actually put a hold on blue labels and yellow label slabs being sold from the website from regiecollects.com. I put a hold on it because of the amount of damage that was done and the number of books that were damaged. I have a few more bundles of books where I may be able to pull out some 9.8s out of there, but I don't feel comfortable continuing to sell books until I know that the ones that I have sent off are being graded and are being screened, being screened and then graded at a 9.8. And I want to make sure that process is started while I'm pulling additional books, hoping that I can get some books that are worthy of a 9.8 out of what remains. So I've put a hold on all graded books at 9.8 from the website. Raw books are still available. So just be aware of that. If you go to the website, you may not find anything that is graded because of what I just mentioned a few seconds ago. All right. So let me go back to the chat here. Reggie got my stickers in and spawn cards. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. I try to throw some extras in boxes and stuff like that for people. So you are very welcome, brother. What is this? Hey, Bueller. Awesome. Shout out to Reggie on the new comics video. Yes, that was a nice surprise earlier this morning. I definitely appreciate that, brother. Let me see. Rob Boswell with the jokes. brother, signing your name and having a logical conversation, that is not an easy thing, man. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Dang, Reggie, give them your special press on those babies, man. There, bro. I have a single press, okay, a single press that can press 2 books at a time. I sent in to CGC a massive box. I don't have enough hours in the day, hands or presses to press that many books. So I had to outsource it. Brother. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it is worth every penny to actually send it out and not have to worry about it. That way we let the professionals do what they do, and then we go ahead and rock on, So with Tina, we are fast approaching. We are what 9,100 and some change or something like that. We're doing well. We're doing well for ourselves, but people still continue referring to the channel as a small channel in comparison to Comic Tom and Bueller and Jim Mint, all these fantastic YouTubers that I want to take down. I want to take every last one of them down, and I want to have them looking up to me. That's the goal. Don't know if it's possible, but we have to have BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. And that is mine. If anybody does not know, those are all awesome guys, awesome YouTubers that I talk with offline. I aspire to continue to be mentioned in sentences along with those guys. So shout out to all of them. So who is this? Steve Rogers in the house. How you doing? He says, hello, Reggie. I made it to another live stream. I see a pattern developing as well, Steve Rogers. It is definitely good to see you. I definitely appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Stampede is in the house. How you doing, brother? Feeling that FOMO, hop on Reggie Collects. The books right here, all the books that I'm selling are actually sitting right here off to my side. They will be bundled up. I actually had to place another order for Gemini shippers, man. I was mailing out books and bundling up books, and I went to go in my big bin where I keep my Gemini shippers, and I hit bottom. And I was like, ooh, that is not a good look at this moment. So yeah, I ended up having to order a bunch more Gemini shippers last night. I thought I had enough inventory, man, but no, because of you guys and the fantastic support that you guys have had for what I am attempting to do, I hit bottom. And so trying to keep it on track. So thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. We are trying to make some magic over here, man. Little by little, we are trying to make some magic. And I feel very good about the progress that we're making. So wanted to make sure I gave you guys an update on that. Hopefully by Friday, Saturday or so, a healthy number of you will actually have your variants at your homes. That is my hope. And if you do get them, and if you want to tag me on social media, definitely tag me. Definitely let me know that you got them. And if you have any issues with your copies or whatever, let me know that as well, because I want people to walk away satisfied. I want folks to walk away satisfied that they spent their good money and they got something good in return. And so anyone that placed an order for a raw book, you should have received a notification via the website, via my site, to let you know that things were being shipped out. There were some people that ordered that had very complex orders. So they had some people order box cutters and t-shirts and raw books and slab books all as one order. Unfortunately, I pieced those things out because I didn't want to hold stuff for fear of running out or something like that. So your orders are like piecemeal. So you may not have received a notification for your second order or your third order, depending upon what you did, but you definitely got one for your first because I inputted that into the system. At least I believe that I did. I was doing a lot of work late at night after work. So you but again, definitely keep me posted. The other thing I will tell you is I actually upgraded my my streaming platform the other day, and I was all aflutter. I was all aflutter on Sunday when we did the live show. I was like, man, this is going to be a good show, right? I'm upgraded. People are posting up photos and they're like, the thing is crispy clean, right? The view. So today I'm sitting there like an hour ago and I get an email from the company that I just purchased from. And they're like, good news. We upgraded everyone's stream. And they were like, you were supposed to be getting this and we upgraded that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What do I have? So I go and I look, and what I thought that I was getting was 1080. And then I realized that my camera on my laptop does not shoot in 1080. It shoots in 720. So I'm like, if people are saying my stream looks really good at 720, then what was I getting before? Right? Less than 720, right? So, so I'm like upset at that. Not upset, but I'm like, well, what was I getting before? And why was I paying what I was paying only to get lesser quality? Now you're saying, congrats, you got 720. And then I realized I have 720 now, and it's really nice. Then I went and plugged in my my external webcam, which is what I'm using right now, which actually shoots in 1080 because the laptop tops out at 720. So I may be looking extra crispy on top of the crispiness at 1080, which we thought we had on Sunday versus the 720. So I don't know. I'm so confused as to what I am getting right now that I'm just hopeful. Well, here's the thing. I'm a handsome man, Bueller. I'm a handsome man. So I couldn't even follow up with anything. Oh man, it is good to see you, brother. And I enjoyed Comics with Bueller. I enjoyed our conversation earlier today, man. It's always nice to be able to compare notes a little bit and to see what's going on with you and how your channel is growing and performing and all that kind of stuff. It's it gives me something to aspire to and to aim to take down. So, thank you for continuing to be a motivation and an inspiration to me to take you out. So thank you for that. Beast, listening to your son while giving Reggie scrolling down there. What are you guys talking about again? So, James Tomlinson, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. It is definitely good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, so thank you for swinging by the live stream. We did a little bit earlier today for people to be able to join. Are Gemini shippers the way to go for shipping comic books? What I will tell you, Steve, is that there are various methods to shipping comics. And on the channel, I actually show you various methods for shipping raw comics, graded comics, etc. There is no right way. There is no wrong way. Well, let me restate. The wrong way is a way that results in a comic getting damaged, right? That would be the wrong way. But you don't have to buy Gemini shippers in order to ship comics safely, right? There are various methods. And if you search the channel, Regie Collects, search YouTube, Regie Collects shipping, you'll probably get from me 5 or 6 different videos that show you different methods for shipping comics. What I will tell you is that I like Gemini shippers. I like them because there's no muss, there's no fuss. I grab them out of a box, I fold them up, I stick the book in, I tape it down, I put a label on it, I ship it out. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to assemble things. I don't have to look for supplies and cut, cardboard and tape this and all this other kind of stuff to make it work. It is literally, I pull it out, fold it up, put the book in, done, right? And so it's easy for me also because I ship a lot of books, right? I ship a lot of books, whether they be books to CGC or AOKs to people or folks that have bought something from me. So the Gemini shippers allow me to have some comfort that I have a process, if you will. I'm a big fan. I use the term COMIC SWOLDIER. I'm a big fan of regimented things. And I like to do the same thing over and over because it gives me a lot of comfort. And so I don't like variability if I can help it, and so again, Gemini shippers are dope. I definitely like them. So I don't know what would make you say that I'm getting close to AF-15. I hope I'm getting close to AF-15, but I don't know what would make you say. Did I say something? Did I say something? Do you see something in the background that alludes to AF-15? I don't know. Let me scroll up through the comments again. If there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps, man. We can definitely chat about it. Super Honorable Nephew says he's going to snag some more Regie Collects variants tomorrow. So right now, bro, I only have the raw books up. I have a nice stack. Actually, you can't even see it. They're sitting like right off of camera. A nice stack of raw books that are ready to ship out. Hopefully I have enough Gemini shippers to get me through until the next shipment arrives, or else I'll have to take some of my own advice and jigger some boxes to be able to ship stuff out. But again, thank you all for the support in picking up the variants. So I definitely appreciate that. What is this? Hey, Regie, Bleed 'em Dry 2 was pretty man, bro. Bleed 'em Dry. One was a little slow, but it was good. 2 was pretty darn good. And it's from Vault. I had never heard of Vault before, but I am enjoying it. And somebody actually sent me a link the other day to pick up another issue, number 1. And I've been too busy trying to do other things that I haven't picked up another issue of number 1, after I discovered that greasy fingerprint on the inside of the cover. So I do need to pick up another copy, but bleed them dry, man. I'm enjoying it. I really am enjoying it. These indie publishers are putting out some fantastic content. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about TKO Studios, AWA, Boom Studios, Vault, clearly Ablaze, just good content. And what's great, in many cases, they're actually using really high grade paper. They're using some good paper that's like glossy and feels good in your hand and doesn't have bindery tears and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, man. Scrolling down to the bottom again, if you have things you want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. We'll definitely dig into it. CGC needs to fast track those books for us comic soldiers. Scrolling down through the comments, save those Gemini. I never reuse Gemini shippers. I never, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't. But if someone buys something from me, I want them to have an experience when they open it up. And so, I'm the guy that uses fresh bubble wrap when somebody buys something. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just my thing is I want the presentation to match what someone pulls out of their wallet, and again, there's nothing wrong with reusing it. If you can reuse it and not have it look used, I think that's the secret. I think if you can reuse it and make it look new, I think that's the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Hydra Collectibles, my brother from the UK. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. James Tomlinson. What does it say? Good to see you. Oh, I lost it. Where'd that go? Was I that far behind? Good to see you. Good to see you live stream, bro. I'm a nurse, and because of what's been going on. Oh, got it. That makes a lot of sense, bro. That makes a lot of sense. Be safe. And hopefully, this Voldemort ends at some point, right? Ends at some point, brother. Sean says recycle. Scrolling down to the comments again, if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. It'll actually help me to be able to see it. What is it? Steve says, thank you for your input on shipping. Can't afford to mess up a book, dude. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. And I will tell you, bro, I have, I'm hesitant to say it, but I'm gonna knock on this wood right here, right? I have shipped a lot of things via Gemini Shipper, and I have not had one issue. I've not had one issue. And I don't know if it's because of the technique or because of the Gemini Shipper or because I'm lucky or a combination of the aforementioned. But knock on wood, man, I have not had any major issues. And again, people's experiences could be different. So scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Scrolling. Got to check out the site. Yeah, regiecollects.com, brother. Did you sign the raw books? I did not sign the raw books. That was not an option. There were 3 options for books. It was a raw book, a blue label graded, and a yellow label signed. And part of the reason for that is that I'm a one-man operation, man, and it's like if I had a lot of people to kind of help me, because here's the thing, somebody places an order and how they place their order may look different from their PayPal, right? Because people don't always use the same name. So then you have to try to match up all of these things and print the label off and make sure that what they ordered is correct inside of there. And then it's pieced out. And because it's like people will order raw books and t-shirts and box cutters and tape and then slabs all in one order. And I'm not complaining, but it's complicated. And, you're trying to get it right. And it's like the more variables you introduce to something, the more likely you are to actually make mistakes, and that's not to say that I won't offer signed books at some point, but I needed to keep it somewhat simple. And I will tell you that there are some lessons that I have learned from this first exclusive variant that I may apply at another point. And it's stuff like the color of the back cover. I love the color red, but solid colors, whether it be red or black, introduce certain opportunities for printing issues. And so there are all kinds of lessons that I'm experiencing and learning from what I'm going through right now that I think will serve me in the future. And that's not to say that I'm gonna turn around and do another variant. It's to say that in all things, you should learn from those experiences as best you can and try to apply them the next time so that you don't make as many mistakes, so you get to make different mistakes. Maybe that's the way. Maybe that's the way to look out. Doc is in the house. What's up, Reggie? Have you seen the Turkish AF variant? I have not. I did not know that there was a Turkish AF-15 variant. Is it cheaper than the US version? Because I might be interested. If anybody has this, Doc, if you have it, bro, hit me up on Instagram. I like to see that because I have not heard about that. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. I try, Tina. I try, man. I try to think about and put my pull tabs and anticipate what could happen, but you never know. You never know. That red on the back of Reggie's variant is, man, brother, I'm going to tell you right now, they sent me the original proof and it had some mosaic. And I was like, no. We are not doing that. I was like, I want solid red on the back of this thing. And I did not tell you guys about it because I was like, that'll be a nice surprise. That'll be a nice surprise when people actually see that. I mean, people probably could have predicted it. You know, you probably could have predicted. Like, I am literally surrounded by red stuff. It is my color. Definitely my color. Man, and I do wrap in saran wrap. I do use saran wrap. If you order more than one book, you get a saran wrapped thing that gets dropped into a Gemini shipper and sent out to you. So what is this? I am a graduate of the Regie Collect School of Somebody sent me a message the other day and they were like, yo, you put together one video on I think it might have been my CGC video. They were like, it was like a college course. Oh man, there is no greater compliment than to have people say that they actually learned something from something that you did. You know what I'm saying? Scrolling down, the Turkish AF is dope as fudge. Why have I never seen this? Why have I never seen it? Especially if it's cheaper. Is it also in English? Is it also in English? Did you get your book, Matt? Did you get your book, brother? Says it's dope. Can I show my variant? I do. Yeah, actually I can. Give me one sec. So this is the super dopeness right here. This is the super dopeness. This is, and you guys know, I think everybody in here probably knows about the Giving Gang, right? Marvel's newest superstar, written by Stan Lee, Amazing Spider-Man number 110. So we basically did an homage to Amazing Spider-Man 110 and to the Giving Gang, which is a very organic kind of thing. So I selected a book, a title that I was reading called Gung-Ho. And the reason that I did that is because Gung-Ho, the whole premise behind it is kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing where primates, 3 different types of primates, have essentially inherited the earth and they terrorize humanity. The gibbon is a primate. So I decided to use, or a mammal, I don't know what he is, but he's a primate to me. So I decided to use the actual characters in the book to be an homage to the gibbon and Spider-Man. So this is it. I work with a really talented artist by the name of Yukio Smith. And Yukio is out of Columbus. He did a fantastic job on this. And this frame here, they actually, the humans use this frame, this outpost, if you will, to actually look out on the countryside to see these guys attacking. And so we basically, instead of a cityscape, we use the actual wood fortresses that they use. So you have a couple of the main characters in his hands and then a couple of them falling off. And then you have the backside of it all red saying Gung-Ho, Blaze Studios. And then we even went with the, this is the diamond. Our comeback will be bigger than the setback. That was their nod, if you will, to Voldemort. And people that don't know, Voldemort is COVID-19. And then you've got my mug right there in the middle. So this is the variant, man. Definitely pumped about it. Yukio did a fantastic job working on this, and shout out to Ablaze for hooking it up. So that is the book right there. And again, it's available in raw copy right now. So I'm on vacation at the moment, so I haven't picked brother. You're making me worry. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. If you have any issues, just let me know. What is this? So I need to think about that. I need to talk to CGC about whether I can sign other books, and I think that I can. Part of it is this. Part of it is, and this is just the honest part of it. I need to get through one project before I take on another project. You know, so I know that people do want Amazing Spider-Man 110 signed. Part of it was I needed to find the right pins in order to sign the comics, and I need to know what I was getting myself into before I took on more stuff. I needed to be able to complete the paperwork as a creator and then send it off to CGC and know that I filled the paperwork out and to get a feel for how much does it cost to do some of this stuff. And so it was part of this with my variant was an experiment to see what it's like to do some of this stuff. And my hope is that as I continue to work my way through it, I will learn more and then be able to do something like, hey, if you want an Amazing Spider-Man 110 sign, let's do it, right? Because then what I would do is to basically have a period in which people send their books. We bring them in, we sign them all on one day. We bundle them all up and we send them all off to CGC at the same time. But I need to think through all of that. I need this, and I will tell you, this variant was a lot of work. It was more work than I anticipated, and partly because of the response. And again, it's not a complaint. I mean, I'm more than pleased. Pleased as punch, red punch. That is that people responded the way that they did. But it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. So more to come. More to come. So let me see. What else you guys are talking about? T-shirts, look, super dopeness. Super dopeness. I actually have a pretty dope t-shirt in the wings. My man Scott, who's done a lot of my t-shirts, actually did a design that is really nice, but I'm trying to hold off partly because I feel like I've done a lot of t-shirts lately. Now I've got the variant and it's a lot. And so I want to maybe take a little bit of a step back. But we will do some things. We will do some things. I have at least 3 other projects in my mind right now that will be released at some point. We'll leave it at that. Scrolling down. Thank you, brother. I'm glad you like it. Oh, Robert, I think I feel you guys purchasing things right now. And we had a new Patreon just sign up a few seconds ago. If you guys have not checked out the end of the videos, probably yesterday's video, because I don't think today's video had it. We have a new Patreon thank you page. I've continued to take money for Patreon and reinvest it in other places. And one of them was a thank you for Patreon members. If you didn't watch the end of the video recently, watch it because it's actually pretty cool. I think there's a little bit of a glitch in there that I corrected on videos that you guys will see next week. But it's a learning process. I am a one-man show, but we will continue to work through this. Let me see. Red's up. Any good books? I have not been to the comic store, bro. I have literally. So I woke up this morning. I did a couple of conference calls. I ran to the post office and got my PO box set up. So that is actually on the website right now. The PO box is posted there. I went to FedEx, sent my books to CGC. Well, technically sent your books to CGC, came home, and then I've just been working since. So I have not been to the comic shop. Probably will not make it there today. Maybe later this week. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll be able to make it to the comic shop to pick some stuff up. But I heard a lot of people trying to get copies of Dark Knight's Metal. I think that's what it is. And weren't able to get it or got it and had to pay a crazy amount of money for it. So thank you, Phil. I definitely appreciate that, brother. Again, we do this stuff, man, because we have fun and it's really cool when people are in here in the live streams and having fun as well. This is where it goes down. Regie collects ASM variant in the future. Talk dirty. They would need to get a new writer. When is like issue 900 come out, right? 850 is probably, we couldn't do 850, but like 9, it has to be like a big issue. It has to be like a special issue. The current ASM is just a struggle. It's a struggle, but maybe like if they did like 950, if I'm still doing YouTube at 1,000, issues, maybe we'll do something for that. It could be cool. You may see another small independent variant at some point. You may see that because I'm enjoying the independent stuff. And so you could see something like that. I'm exploring, I'm having fun and all that kind of stuff. What is this? Walter is asking a question here. Again, if there's things you want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. It definitely help me. What superhero would you compare yourself with, or who inspired you to inspired you? I think like I'm a big fan of. I mean, everyone knows this. Spider-Man is my guy, and I think it's because Spider-Man is just a regular person that has the ability to do extraordinary things, but he is also in many ways a normal person that is very much committed to family. You know what I'm saying? His relationship with his Aunt May is not that different than the relationship that I had with my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Who helped raise me as a child, and so that character is one that I've always gravitated towards. I would say, name a mutant I'm on board with, right? Primarily the X-Men. Your Wolverine, maybe not your Cyclops. He's not necessarily my favorite, but like a Wolverine, I can get on board with a Gambit, a Bishop. Those guys back in the day, that was my jam. That was just my jam because they were not necessarily the cool kids, right? But they had a sense of responsibility to what they were doing, where even though they weren't necessarily praised, they still did the work that had to be done. So those are the types of characters that I think I gravitate towards. But yeah, man, I wish I could have superpowers. That'd be dope. I may need to adjust this camera. I need to sit up a little bit taller. Love the look of the page, man. I'm glad, brother. I'm glad. Man, that was a hard secret to keep because I wanted to tell you guys about it. I think I hinted at it, like, stay tuned for next week's videos, that kind of thing. But I'm glad you guys liked it, man. That was a cool. That was cool. So who is the artist? The artist is Yukio Smith. Yukio Smith is the artist, and he goes by Yukio Smith on the Instagram. I actually need to bundle up a couple of copies of the book and send it over to him, send it to his home so that he has copies of it because he doesn't. And I committed to that. So I'm definitely going to have to take care of that for him. Glad you like the outro, brother. All the Patreon members are in the house. I see all of you guys in there, man. That is awesome. I don't think anyone bought Giant Size Phantom X. Did you read it? Was it good? Seriously, because I think I'm actually end up buying it. Scrolling down through the comments here. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap this thing up, man. I'm gonna go spend a little bit of time with the family. Well, I'm with you on that one. ASM Regie variant would be crazy. I'm thinking homage to air. Oh, talk. Ooh. That's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea, my friend. Then I can unveil that book with my AF-15. That actually might be a cool idea. I did not think of that one. I wish that I had. I mean, by the time we get to it, I will take credit for it. Almighty Liger King, but like I had this epiphany, and I decided to do. Oh man, that's actually not a bad idea. That's actually not a bad idea. Wait a minute. I'm under Spider-Man's arm. I don't know about that. Nah, I might need to put Peter Parker under my arm. Nobody carries baby under their arm. Tony Trebetta. Tony's in the house, the owner of EGS, third-party grading service. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Thank you, Tina. I definitely appreciate that. What is this? Regie, that exclusive Gung-Ho cover is fire. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I wish that I could take credit for it, brother. I mean, I had the idea, I had the vision, I was able to communicate it to the artist, but I cannot take credit for the creativity, right? I was like, I want this character because it's this primate. I want these characters like in proximity to him because they're the stars of the comic. But the creativity of this guy that Yukio demonstrated, man, it's one of those things that we talked about. Don't stifle creative people. Give them some guardrails and some parameters, and then just let them rip. And Yukio, he did the thing, man. He really did do the thing. And from the moment that I saw his artwork on this Wolverine sketch that he did, I was like, this dude has some talent. And it was honestly a pleasure. It was honestly a pleasure to work with him. It was a pleasure to work with the Blaze. I would work with either one of those people / companies again, because it was a fun process. It was a fun process. So maybe we'll do, try to do with Marvel. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you with Marvel, here's the issue. Marvel's minimums are 3,000 copies. 3,000 copies. That's a very, very big number. And that is one thing that gives me hesitation with doing it, because that's a lot. And as you guys know, I tend to do things myself solo. I don't necessarily partner up with people. I tended to do it my way, not because I feel like I'm the only, I know the best way. It's easier not to have to coordinate lots of different things. But 3,000 copies is a lot of copies. And I don't know if the channel's large enough yet to sustain that type of endeavor. You know, with Ablaze, it was 500 copies, and I felt like that was appropriately sized, where we can make those numbers work for us. But 3,000 copies, that's a big one, you know. So each one of you would have to commit to at least 100. No, I'm joking. I hope it's good. Scrolling down. All right. So we are going to wrap this thing up, man. Again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. If you took a photo of me in this live stream on your small screen, big screen, TV, whatever it happens to be, and you post it up on the Instagram, let me know, tag me, and I will repost it. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. Just to recap very, very briefly, if you placed an order for a raw copy of the Regie Collects exclusive variant, those have all been mailed out. If you, for some reason, don't get your copy in like 7 days or something like that, you let me know, because I may have made a mistake. Hopefully a lot of you will start to get your stuff before Friday or Saturday of this week. The rest of you will probably, on the other side of the country that went out on the second wave that was released today, may get them at some point next week. Fingers crossed that everything arrives safely and that you're pleased with your purchase. If for some reason you're not, reach out to me. We can have a conversation, because I want to make sure that people are happy. If you ordered a graded book, the blue labels and yellow labels have all been bundled up. Well, the copies have been bundled up for those labels and sent to CGC. They will arrive at CGC tomorrow. Because of the condition that the books came in, every single book has to be pressed. So they have to be pressed and then pre-screened and then graded and then all of that good stuff. So please bear with me. I will provide you guys with updates as best I can. But if you have ever submitted a book in the CGC, you know how it goes. You send it, you forget about it, and then you check in periodically to kind of see what's what. So I would definitely keep you guys posted. But if anybody has any issues, questions, comments, thoughts, you guys can always reach out to me. The best way to do that is on Instagram at Regie Collects. If you need me via email, you can reach out to me at Regie@RegieCollects.com. Not ideal, but it is an option. But if you need me, I am not too hard to find. My last reminder, if you haven't yet watched the Chris Claremont interview second part, please go watch that on the channel. I do not think that you're going to regret it. And if you get a chance, check out the Go Collect video that was released earlier today, a couple of hours ago, where I review some spec content from the folks over at Go Collect. Thank you guys, and be well.